Oh, thank you for being here. I am inspired by you. I am inspired by your courage, your determination, and that you maintain your hope. I'm inspired by the little children and the older children. Anybody under 40 is a child to me. I'm inspired because so many of you were not born in Tibet, but Tibet is still your homeland. I'm inspired as well by the young people from Students for a Free Tibet who created that moving drama, which makes it clear to us that we are talking here about torture of humans, of ordinary people. We are talking about murder. Murder by the state. Murder by the Chinese government. I remember very well a year or two ago when this road was littered with coffins. The coffins that symbolize the death of all those, now over 140, who have given up their lives through self-immolation to signify their disgust with the Chinese government's repression. So there is much to inspire me. There is much to keep me going. Well over 20 years since I came to this consulate. And I'll be here for another 20 years if necessary. I also want you to reflect on the fact that you are not alone. The government of Canada, the government of the United States, the governments in Europe, the European Union have all stated clearly that it is long past time for the Chinese government to negotiate openly and honestly with His Holiness the Dalai Lama's representatives. It is time, China. It is time to wake up to the reality that there is no choice but dialogue. I am hopeful. I'm hopeful because all of you are still here. Because I am still here. I am hopeful because the world is behind you. I think you need to reflect on the fact that the Chinese people, to a substantial degree, are behind you. Let me just tell you one little story from an urgent action from Amnesty International that I received yesterday. It relates to the story of 5 young women, all in their early 20s, who simply wanted to celebrate and make a few points about International Women's Day. They wanted to make statements to the effect that men should not be brutalizing women, and that the government has a responsibility to put an end to such practices. Sounds pretty straightforward to me. It's happening in Canada every Women's Day, every day. While these young women were picked up, thrown in jail, one of them used her cell phone to call a friend at the very time that she was being brutally beaten by the police. This is just one story among tens of thousands in China, which indicate to me that the Chinese people are suffering repression, which is very similar to what the Tibetan people are suffering. So understand that Tibetans are in solidarity with Uyghurs, with Falun Gong practitioners, with Mongolians, with people who are fighting for democracy and human rights in China. You have the whole world behind you. And eventually, that brutal regime in Beijing will fall. Sooner, we hope, rather than later. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michael. All right.